Everyone, and welcome to our fifth webinar of Heal with Compassion. I really appreciate you being with me and supporting me in this. And also, you can see all the webinars on my YouTube that I will send you with my the newsletter that will be sent out. It's going to be included in that. So today, I felt that it was important to learn about how to be and how to speak with people who are going through grief or going through a heartbreak, maybe going through a divorce, and things feel heavy for them. So what we say could actually lift up their spirit. It could be a way of contributing to them and healing, being a healing space for them. That's really important. And that's why I wanted to talk about that. And also the attendees, I would love to invite you to include any questions or any remarks that you would like to add in the chat box. And when I stop the screen share, I can see what you're talking about and respond to that. So I appreciate all of you being here, whoever is watching, and the participants. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. And bring up the PowerPoint and start from the beginning. Okay, so we're going to talk about what to say to someone heartbroken. And a part of that is going to also include what not to say. Welcome to Heal with Compassion. And our agenda for today is a little bit about who I am and who's speaking here, so you know a little bit more about me. We will do a centering meditation and how to be with someone who's heartbroken. So we're going to include the being, the space we're creating for them at the same time. And we're going to go over what not to say and what to say to create healing space, as I said. And at the end of the webinar, I will go ahead and provide my packages and the opportunities that I can have to speak with you directly. And we can schedule appointments if you would like to speak with me in regards to healing any type of heartbreak or grief. My name is Zoya Bokor Mills. I love to teach. I've always felt that I was a teacher, but before my losses, I never actually pursued that. And now I feel that it's something that comes to me naturally. And through the healing that I've done for my losses, that actually has come through as a new path in my life. So I'm very grateful for that. I love making a difference for people that I meet and for the environment the way I can, and also for the world. We all make a difference, and it happens one at a time. So the work that we do for ourselves is not just for us. It's actually going to have a ripple effect in our environment and for other people around us. And they make a ripple effect, and so on and so on. I am a certified From Heartbreak to Happiness coach since September of 2012. What that means, I can help people who are going through heartbreak and grief to heal and start a new life. And maybe, like me, they find a new path in their lives. My niche is basically helping parents who have lost a child, and the difference that the healing that comes through me can make for them. I'm also a certified level 3 Reiki practitioner since 2013. I have practiced both, and right now I'm combining the two because I feel that healing mind and body requires the coaching that takes place over the phone, and also healing Reiki that is in person. And it's basically a live, a very simple and light touch. I was very fortunate and honored to have my story be a part of a book called Get Your Woman On, along with other 38 amazing women. And I enjoy painting, dancing, reading, and singing. And those things actually really lift me up. I've included one of my paintings here, and I was going to change that to something else today, but time didn't allow. And just I share that because I want to say that when you go through healing, when you decide that you want to heal any type of grief that you're going through, any type of heartbreak, on the other side, you can find miracles. And learning how to paint was a childhood dream of mine that I never pursued. And after my losses and healing, I went after that. Thank you for listening. And we're going to go next to a centering meditation. This meditation came to me when I was putting the PowerPoint together. So I hope that you can resonate with it. And it's really to open our hearts. Because what we're talking about, when it comes from the heart, when our words and our space come from the heart, we can create an amazing space for us and people who are going through heartbreak. So I'd like to invite you to breathe into your stomach and release the breath slowly through your lips. Let's take 4 breaths like that. And as you're breathing at your own pace, I would like to guide us through this meditation that brings us to the present moment and bring us to our hearts. Breathing in, I breathe into and feel my heart. Breathing out, I open my heart. Breathing in, feeling the love that's within my heart. And breathing out, I share the love in my heart. Again, breathing in, feeling my heart. Breathing out, I open my heart. Breathing in, feeling the love in my heart. And breathing out, sharing the love in my heart. And the last time, breathing in, I breathe into and feel my heart. Breathing out, I open my heart. Breathing in, feeling the love in my heart. And breathing out, I share the love in my heart. Thank you. So, as our heart is open and we are speaking from our heart, we're going to go over how to be with someone heartbroken. I know that I felt kind of uncomfortable in some cases that when I went to a burial or services to honor someone who had passed. And what we're covering today can actually open that space for you to be with the person, to share your love with the person. And tools are always fascinating and very helpful. So we want to look at how to be with someone who's heartbroken. One thing we can do is be with them without judgment. What does that mean? That means is when you're talking to them, when you're being with them, the first thing that us as human beings do is we want to judge, kind of judge where they are. We want to judge how they're feeling. And even though we want to be there for them, our judgments can set us separate from them. So we're going to be with them without any judgment. Be with them in the present moment. And the second step is acknowledging that they are in a space that is not very comfortable for them. You can acknowledge them by just feeling the acknowledgement, or you can share that with them in any way that comes through your heart. That's very important. Being and coming through the heart can actually provide the words that the person needs to hear. And then we're going to listen without fixing. Going to provide a safe space. So when we're not judging them, when we're acknowledging who they are, then we're providing a safe space. We are listening without fixing. Because that's the last thing they need, is for us to want to fix them. Because we love them and we feel that we don't want them to go through the hard times. But that is their journey and we are there to support them. We want to give hope and encouragement. We want everything that we share, either physically providing the space or the words that come out of our mouths would be something positive. And the only thing they need is to be loved and supported. So share your love from your heart and speak from your heart. Now we're going to go over what not to say. When I was typing these, I started kind of feeling like, who would actually say these things? And these are actually from people who have heard them and shared them with us. And the resource for all of these items are from Grief Coach Academy. That's where I studied. And Aurora Winter is the founder. And she actually put these in a book for us that we could use helping our clients. So one of the things that she shared with us, she lost her husband when her son was 4 years old. And during the memorial for her husband, somebody came over to her son at the age of 4 and told him that you're the man of the house. And that was something that she didn't want to hear, and she was very upset over that. So do not say that to any child. And I know that these days we don't, but sometimes words come out of our mouths and might be hurtful. And also, maybe you're young or you can get another husband or wife or child. Unfortunately, that has happened. And you should be over it by now. Grief takes its time. And we want to support them with trusting that the time that they're going through is what they need. We also don't want them to feel bad. So sometimes we say, well, don't feel bad. Because we don't want them to feel bad doesn't mean that they're not going through that bad feeling. Another one is, it must have been God's will. I'm sure that none of us who are on this webinar or watching would actually want to say that it must have been God's will. It's your fault. You should have done something about it. For the life of me, I don't think I would say that, but unfortunately it's been said. Or I know how you feel. A lot of times we think that we're supporting the person by saying, I know how you feel. And here I want to say that grief is a very personal journey. No, not even two mothers who have lost their child or actually they go through grief the same way. So please do not say, I know how you feel, because you really don't. At least you have other children. Loss of a child, even if you have 10 children, that child is always going to be missed. And the phrase, at least you have other children, is not healing to the person who's going through that grief. You need to be strong. You need to keep busy or alone. You need to be alone. They're not there to actually hear what you think they need to do or to be. They just want your support and love. So never say that. Be grateful to have had him or her for so long. Having our loved ones, no matter how long we've had them, grief and all the emotions that come from that, is just a natural way of responding to that. It just takes time. Some people may believe that, and with my experience, it does not just take time. It really takes action. And by saying it just takes time, you may make the person feel that if they haven't healed their grief by now, then there might be something wrong. That's my take on that. When I was going through the grief over my son, I actually had to deal with people who are lovely and my precious family. They would come to me saying, my heart aches for you. And I found myself at that time that I had to calm them down and give them help and support. Or I heard, I don't know how to handle this news. So anything that you're going through because of what happened, you want to keep it to yourself. And if you cannot find anything positive to say, if you don't have the space for that, then it's okay to just be quiet and not say anything. So next slide is going to be about good things to say to someone heartbroken. One of the good things to say is you're not alone. You've got support. You've got a support team, and I'm on it. Can you just imagine and feel the space that you're providing with this. And you can even say, I don't know what to say. That's very acceptable. And it will resonate with the person you're talking to because it's the truth. And you can also say, I can't imagine how you feel, because you can't. That's also a truth that's coming from you. My heart goes out to you. It's something very positive. And it's giving them something that they can feel and they can stand on. I've seen you overcome other challenges. I'm here for you. Here we're supporting them with this sentence. It's really not your fault. One of the things that people who have lost loved ones, the first thing that we all do is to blame ourselves. I know that I blame myself for my son's death for a long time and worked very hard on that to release that. I realized that this was his journey and what he was here to do, and the time that he left was when he was supposed to leave. So really telling them it's not your fault is a very calming and healing and supportive sentence that we can use. Now, what can I do to support you? I really like this one because we are asking them what we can do to support them. Now we have to give two choices. Why that is when somebody's going through grief, they feel overwhelmed, they cannot focus, they can't even think if it's really fresh. And so by giving them two choices, for example, I can pick up the kids or I can bring dinner. Or I can come visit you in the morning, or I can bring lunch. Whatever that you feel you can do to support them, giving them two choices, that way we can actually choose one. And then you can ask, what was your favorite thing about the person who passed away? This question actually brings all the positive and good memories of the person who has passed to the person who's grieving. And grief is a normal and natural reaction to loss. Well, that's really the truth. And being a normal and natural reaction to loss, grief can also give us ways to become someone new and start a new life after healing. So by saying grief is a normal, natural reaction to loss, it lets them know that however they are, what they're feeling is normal, and there's nothing to worry about. Nothing to do, really. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. And at this time, as I said, healing grief takes commitment and action. I would like to invite you to join me for a complimentary 30-minute heart-to-heart conversation. Normally the charge is $50 for that, but since you've attended this webinar, I would love to give that as a gift to you. I provide one-on-one coaching, upcoming workshops that you can find on my website, and also group classes. Healing grief, again, does not just take time. I've dealt with clients who've lost their husbands or children years ago, and they're still going through, and they still cannot lead a normal life, or normal as we know it. So it would be my pleasure to be here for you and help you through this. You can contact me at 866-908-4325 or email me at zoya@healingwithcompassion.com. Thank you for being with me today. It's been a pleasure. And next week, next Thursday, is going to be the last webinar that I will be hosting. And because of all the commotions and the unfortunate loss of our loved one, Kobe Bryant, and people in that crash, and other things that we're going through, I'm opening the next webinar to just answer questions and come together as a community and heal what needs to be healed. So please join me next Thursday and at 11 o'clock, and come with your questions, and we can get healing for all of us. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.